Welcome, Gemini. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your full moon in Pisces reading, which is occurring on the 17th or 18th, depending where you are in the world. You are feeling the energy about the time that you're receiving or viewing this video. So welcome to all of you that are new and those of you that are returning to me. I'm happy to be here. Because these are general readings, they may not resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, please look in the description box below for information about the readings that I offer. So let's get started, Gemini, with your overall energy. I have the Queen of Pentacles. This has you particularly focused on practical moves in terms of advancing your professional or employment activities. You are a solid and valued worker. You are detailed and organized. And although you enjoy the work that you do at whatever level you are ambitious to advance in your career. You want to be valued and remunerated, rewarded, recognized for the work that you do. This shows you to be an indispensable part of your community, your organization, your job. So you are in a place where you are devoted to your work, but you also don't want to be taken for granted. In the 10th house, your social identity, the way others see you, the Knight of Pentacles is really clear that others see your ambition. They see your willingness to do new things, to train yourself, to learn new skills, to think beyond your immediate tasks and responsibilities wherever you are. And this could be about a position you hold in a community, a volunteer organization, or work that you do in your world that is not exclusive to a formal job for which you get paid. So that can apply to any kinds of social associations that you're involved in. But your desire to advance, to grow, not just yourself, but your organization on whose behalf you work, is really the thing that others are following in your lead. In the first house, this is your perspective. The Nine of Swords, as grim as it looks, actually represents the release of phenomenal behaviors, even patterns of behaviors that you've identified as restricting you. This is a tremendous transition from a sense of powerlessness or feeling yourself to be a victim to one of recognizing and taking responsibility for your reality. It does not assume that you are responsible for your suffering or your oppression or any kind of abuse that you may have been victim to, but it does show you as taking responsibility for the creation of your life, for the circumstances, the details, the reality you enjoy, and the awareness that the power lies within you to activate those behaviors, those actions, those thoughts that will frame a life that is more desirable, more enjoyable, more successful for you. So this is tremendous, and it may come along with some physical exhaustion, some emotional letdown, a sense of just giving in to the grief, the regret, the disappointment that you have experienced as part of accepting, in many ways, the necessity of experiences that have helped to shape your awareness, your more powerful awareness now. In the fourth house, this is the house of your home, your foundation. This almost gives me a starting my own business, starting my own project, taking a new position, or receiving a reward for the effort that I make consistently. Being valued, identifying your value, and really creating a vehicle that seeks to reflect your value in the reward that you receive. So you're consciously manifesting a new opportunity, a new portal. And again, this can be a new job. This can be an invitation or an offer to join a project, an enterprise that recognizes how much you could bring to the organization, but it's one in which you also see greater advancement for yourself. That's why this can indeed be the starting of your own independent business or a collaboration with others to work independently for yourselves. In the seventh house of your significant relationships, we have the Five of Swords. And this is really talking more subtly about the tremendous amount of work you've been doing to change your sense of self, to change an experience of insecurity that you have labored under. In many ways, a sense of insecurity, or even for some of you, a sense of inadequacy, not quite having enough education, not quite having enough experience or knowledge about something that you are looking for assistance with. You want to grow. You are you're rejecting a kind of labeling and dismissal, perhaps not being taken seriously by others because of their perception of you or your skills. Here you are very clear that the belief and trust in yourself must start with you, so that you are changing the sense of laboring under a sense of perhaps feeling you can't do much better. Instead, you're doing the most where you are to demonstrate your willingness and openness to learn, to gain greater skills, to be more and more competent and independent in your completion of tasks. This feels very work-oriented for you, Gemini. And the full moon in Gemini, in Pisces, I'm sorry, you're Gemini, is focused on your 10th house, which is that social identity piece, that way that you fit into the community. And I just am pulling out a Soul's Journey card and would ask if you're enjoying or resonating with this video at this time, that you like this video, share it with others who may enjoy it. I always enjoy your comments and thoughts, but subscribe to my channel. So necessary, so helpful, and so greatly appreciated. And I pulled the Doubt card. I release the need to know all the answers. This is a beautiful anecdote to this very delicate situation I believe you're in terms of your own self-transformation. You're making a lot of changes, making really critical changes to a sense of empowerment, to identifying your expertise, your power, relying on the practical skills, your work ethic to get where you want to go. And this can be something that surprises others. That surprise can reinforce a sense of insecurity in you, right? I never thought you wanted that job, or I never thought of you when I thought of X position. Tends to reinforce the idea that you weren't adequate somehow to the task if others weren't thinking about you that way. You're really changing that by recognizing, despite what others see or think, that I must project and assert my desires, my needs, so that others are clear, so that others, I'm not relying on them to read my mind. And so there is no doubt about what I am pursuing and my sense of my capacity. I love this. Now I'm going to clarify the first house, the Nine of Swords, with the Ten of Swords. This really is describing a much more complete release of not only behaviors and patterns that you've identified, that you take responsibility for, but the underlying beliefs that have held those behaviors in place for so long. We often hold beliefs that are conditioned by our social experience naturally. There are rules, there are expectations that we attempt to conform to. However, it isn't simply the behaviors that you now see are holding yourself back, but you understand them in the larger social context. In other words, these beliefs came from my experiences in childhood with my family of origin, or from my educational experience where I was always considered good at this, but not good at that. Those are examples of ways that you're examining the assumptions that you and others make about who you are and what you should be doing. This is a much bigger release. This actually represents the end of a life, the completion of a cycle that you are releasing as a form of as a form of transformation, in which you are letting something completely die off that is no longer useful, no longer aligns with your desires and who you are, so that you can make space for this new sense of power, empowerment. The Ace of Pentacles in the fourth house. This is your foundation. The bottom of your chart, we have the Five of Pentacles. I like this a lot. Not only is this yet another five, fives indicate changes, and this is telling me that you are changing not only your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs, but you're changing the habits, the way in which others have boxed you in, the way you've been labeled, the way you have been seen, and how we internalize that to disallow, to restrict ourselves from believing that we can have certain things. The way in which perhaps childhood in poverty or modest circumstances can engender a belief or an idea that this is all that my tribe is capable of. This is what we do. We live minimally, modestly. We don't have nice things. That's beyond our reach. You're doing a lot to jettison, change that picture, now understanding that it's your faith, your vision that is what defines who you are and what you can do. So this is a huge change, and this is actually the reason why you have manifested an opportunity for greater abundance, for prosperity, even for wealth. But you are saying that I know that I can utilize and maximize an opportunity for physical comfort, for safety, for security, for stability. And the Five of Swords in the seventh house of our significant relations is clarified with the Hanged One. This is describing the need for you to step back and give yourself a pause, a break, a small retreat, so that you can process all that you are experiencing. This feels extremely emotional, even a little volatile, as you are actively structuring and viewing the challenges that you've been facing in an entirely different light. You're understanding these challenges are part of teaching you who you really are, not who others have told you you are. And it is the degree to which you can respond to the challenges, the opportunities that you manifest, that is something that you are absorbing. You are catching up to yourself in a way where you're now aware that you really do have to think differently about who you are and your possible circumstances, so that you can, in fact, take advantage and be prepared for the opportunities that you're manifesting. And the Knight of Pentacles in the 10th house. This is where others are seeing how much you want to grow, how much you want to expand, that you are ambitious. And this is clarified by the Judgment card. Wow. You have received the call. You have come to understand, at least to some degree. For many of you, it may be the first time. For others of you, there is a sense of do-over, another chance, a second chance to be on your path, to make the contribution to your organization, your community, to the world that you feel you came here to do. This is purpose. This is being on purpose. And that call is a reflection of the degree of awareness you have evolved into, the self-development work that you have done that has helped you to have a greater vision of your place in the world. This is all you understanding that there is a greater plan and that you have a very specific place in it, that you are powerful, that the degree of your privilege and talents gives you an opportunity for greater service to humankind. There may be a feeling that you've had opportunities or manifested opportunities like this in the past for some of you, but it never quite came to anything. And for a variety of reasons, you were not ready, you hadn't prepared yourself properly, or there were other parts of the picture that were not sufficiently matured. Divine timing was not at play, was not clicked in. But this is about your finally being on the path of your ultimate significant contribution and challenge to the world. I love this. I'm going to finish up this reading with Flora and Fauna of Africa. We consult the natural world for some clues, some guidance, and I pulled the praying mantis. And the key word is tranquility. Be still. Take time to regroup so you can perform at your best. With patience, so success will happen just in time. Thank you so much, Gemini, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.